Paramahamsa Nithyananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nithyananda has been placed alongside Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yogi by birth, he has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English. Translations of these books are available in 26 languages in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 10,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services with ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world, offering exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nithyananda Dhyanapeetham, a spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places in India like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai. A spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation, a contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers, an adept in Ashtamaha-siddhis, mystical yogic powers, who has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands and graced them with spiritual powers, a dynamic young guru who is an inspiration for thousands of youngsters. India's most watched spiritual guru online, a beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nithyananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment. He is the 293rd Pontiff of the world's most ancient Hindu organization, Madurai Adinam.
Nithyanandaya swagatam, anandanubhavaswadam, sarvaroga nivarakam, vande papa vinashaktam. Nithyanandaya swagatam, nityamuktam nirvikalpam, dhyanaloka pradipakam, vande shantamayam bandham. Nithyanandaya swagatam, anandagandha sancharam, sarvopati vinirmuktam.
सदा शिव समारंभाम् ज्ञान संबंधाचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्ताम् वंदे गुरु परंपराम्.
One of my ashramite was asking me, Swamiji, in one of your discourses you said, we don't worship idols, we worship through idols. But suddenly day before yesterday's discourse, the first day Shiva Sutra, you said, deity is God, deity does not represent God. Is it not contradicting? Seemingly contradicting. Understand? Seemingly contradicting. Understand the first statement? We don't worship the idol, we worship through the idol. Second statement, deity does not represent God, deity is God. Worship through idol happens only when you feel deity is God. Not when you feel deity represents God. When you think deity represents God, even then there is a gap between you and the divine. You have some idea. Only half of your energy will pay attention and devotion to this object which is in front of you. See, basically, you cannot conceive the idea of God or divine as long as your mind is functioning in the physical frequency. As long as the body and mind is functioning in the physical frequency, naturally you cannot conceive, you cannot understand something which is beyond your frequency. In the dream state, you cannot conceive a life or consciousness in the waking state exists. You cannot remember, you cannot understand anything about waking state in the dream state. Whatever idea you may have about your waking state, in the dream state is only idea, not the reality. Not the reality. In the same way, in the waking state, you cannot have any idea about the superconscious state, about the divine. So naturally, you need to have something which you can connect or relate. When you really disappear into that, only then you experience the higher conscious state. It's like a strong nightmare, how it wakes you up, how it brings you out of the dreaming state. See, your whole inner space, when you are dreaming, your whole inner space should be shaken by any one object. Only then you will come out of the dream. For example, you are dreaming as if a lion is chasing you or an elephant is chasing you. And the dream itself, you have an idea. I think in the form of elephant, my own desires or fear is chasing me. You won't get up. Surely, you will not wake up. Only if you are sure, yes, elephant is chasing me, lion is chasing me, you will wake up. You will be awakened. You will come to the higher state, to the waking state. Same way, during the worship, only if you feel deity is God, not, oh, I know about God, that energy is represented by this deity. No. Then again, your ego, what you know about God, only you are worshipping, not the God itself. Worship means where you need to lose your ideas. You need to lose your ideas about the divine. Only then the divine will start expressing itself. That is why deity is God. Do not think deity represents God. Only when you understand deity is God, worship through the idol happens. Till then, you will be doing only idol worship. There was a beautiful statue of elephant carved in teak wood. When you see the elephant, the idea of wood disappears. When you see the wooden statue, the idea of elephant disappears. When you see externally, the world hides the God. When you see internally, God hides the world. Very beautiful description. Understand, you can never have an idea, wooden statue and elephant at the same moment. Fortunately, you can have only one thought at a time. You are blessed. One thought at a time. That is why liberation is possible. That is why liberation is possible. Actually, as you think, you do not have a huge army of enemies in front of you. You have only one enemy at any point. At any point, at any time, you have only one enemy. You do not have army of enemies in front of you. We don't understand that. Either this moment you will see that as an elephant or wooden statue. The next moment you may see in the other way, but not both ideas in the same moment. Same way, either you see the world or the God. When you see the whole thing as divine, suddenly the world disappears. All the 5 elements as hidden, it has covered the divine. When you have the intense vision to look deeply, all the 5 elements disappears into the divine. If you see the deity, you cannot see the statue. If you see God, you can't see statue. If you see statue, you cannot see God. You can see only any one thing. Only when you see the deity as God, you will lose yourself. Worship through the idol will start happening. Worship through the idol will start happening when you lose yourself into the deity. When you know for sure the deity is alive. I was traveling in a small village. One elderly lady, she invited me, Baba, come and stay in my house. It was a small hut. She was having one cow and a small patch of land in front of her hut. She'll grow something for her to eat, some greens and whatever little bit things needed for cooking. And this cow milk she will go and sell in the market. And with that she'll bring some food and offer it to Krishna, and she will also eat. She had a small Krishna. She's a great Krishna devotee. Had a small Krishna deity, and she'll offer to Krishna and eat. This is a simple life. I can say her whole total property value will be less than $1,000. Her per day income may be maximum $2. $2 is per day income, and whole wealth, worth of the wealth is $1,000. That's all is her life. But living very quiet, contented life. I stayed with her maybe a week. 1 week I stayed with her. Every night she will bring the food and keep it in front of that Krishna, and she will start talking. That is one thing. And I can neither contain my laughter, nor I can laugh because I will hurt her, and she is giving after all food for me. I have to be a little polite. What to do? But she will sit and she will talk as if she is talking to somebody. She will sit casually and have a small fan. The hand fan, she will fan that Krishna deity, and she will tell, all right, please eat. She will be going on talking, maybe for half an hour or 1 hour. Then she will eat that food and lie down. Give me also little food. And after 1 week I said, all right, Ma, I am leaving. I am continuing my journey. She started crying. No, why do you want to go? I will not ask you to work and all. Stay here. I'll give you food. And why do you want to go? All those usual things. I said, no, I am a sadhu. I have to continue my journey. Sadhus are not supposed to stay more than 3 days or 4 days in any place, traditionally. Because till the enlightenment, they should not stay, because the attachment may start growing and their continuous sadhana may stop. They may not start doing their spiritual practices. So till enlightenment happens, they cannot settle down in one place. I said, no, I'll continue. I have to go and have darshan of Somanath and continue my spiritual journey. She ran to the Krishna and she started telling, oh, tell him not to go. I'm so happy that he was here. You only should tell him that not to go. And she started speaking. Then within few seconds, the very funny thing, she stopped talking and wiped her tears and said, oh, you are telling he has to go. He's a sadhu, he has to go. Okay. If you are telling the okay, then I'll not worry. I'll not cry. She consoled herself as if Krishna is talking back. This is too much. All these days, she was talking to Krishna, okay, I can put up with that. Anyhow, devotee, she has some love for it. Anyhow, she is doing whatever she wants. And after all, she is giving me food, I have to keep quiet. And it's okay. And Krishna talking back, or she acting as if Krishna talking back is too much. To tell you honestly, I did not have respect for deity worship or the puja or all this ritualistic worship before enlightenment. There was a period I had the respect, very young age, when I was too innocent, like till the age of 10. After the age of 10 only, I started studying this Vedanta. Having the knowledge of Vedanta without the experience of Vedanta is the worst thing can happen to human being. No, really, I'm telling you. Knowledge of Vedanta, but without the experience of Vedanta. Because it gives you almost a pseudo feeling you have everything, you know everything, you are the greatest person in the world. And practically, you will not have any respect for anybody, not only to traditions, anybody. You will be such an idiot. You will not know that, that is the problem. If you know you are an idiot, at least you can save your face. You will not know, but everybody will know. That's the worst thing can happen to human beings. Anyhow, I was in that mood. I had the knowledge, but not the experience. Experience has not happened. But the knowledge was there. So naturally, the Vedantic knowledge without experience adds so much of arrogance and intellect to you. I can say your whole inner space kind of gets corrupted. If you are feeling hurt, sorry, but I am telling you exact truth. I have seen hundreds of monasteries where people sit and study this Vedanta for 20 years. I really feel sorry for them. If they can spend the time in sadhana, it will be so much fruitful. Actually, half an hour studying and 10 hours digesting that, means doing contemplation or sadhana, will be the perfect, the balancing. That will be the perfect thing. But in some monasteries, studying is very juicy. Understand? You know more and more words. You can play with more and more words and you can show to others. And it brings respect. That's another one problem. Having the knowledge without having the experience is the worst state. You will not respect anybody. You will not respect anything. You will be so dry within you and without the inside and outside. I have seen in my experience how to find out whether somebody is a strong Vedanti, he will have stomach problem. Really. See, logic is like having teeth in the stomach. You will literally eat you. Having teeth inside the stomach. Constantly you will be chewing yourself. You will carry constant irritation. Compassion or love is like a lubricating you. Intellect, just intellect is like a continuously turning your nerves and creating more and more stress, you will have stomach problem. Giving your love, even a hug, or just looking at something with a love, is like sending with a high force lubrication into your nervous system. It just heals. Even for a few seconds, look at any one of those deities. We have so many deities. You may feel connected or you may have love for any one deity based on your family bringing up, or based on the maybe some books you read, or some your prayers got fulfilled. Just sit there for 2-3 minutes. Look at the deity with a very deep love. You will see your whole system will be lubricated. It's as if like a amrita. The nectar is spreading through your whole system. Sit and read some dry books, strong intellectual book. It is like as if your nerves are being turned or churned, or the stress getting created inside your nerves. I was a kind of such a sharp intellect, logic, never had respect. Till the age of, from the age of 10 to till enlightenment, I did not have respect for all these things where heart needs to be used. Because all my energy and time was spent in intellect, the knowledge. Did not give so much respect for the necessity of developing the heart. Anyhow, when I heard that she talking back about me going, the Krishna says, no, it's okay, don't bother. She is telling, oh, it's okay, oh, you are telling that you should go, I should be consoling myself, all right. That was little too much. I went near her and said, I told, Mataji, you are praying to Krishna, that is okay. But what you are talking as if he is talking back to you, this all illusion, you should come out of it. So I told, these are all illusion, you should come out of it. You should eat healthy food and stay healthy to come out of all this. And she was so innocent. She said, no, Baba, I am not lying. Don't you see he is sitting? And she just held my hand. I promise, I saw Krishna there. He was sitting there. Just a simple child. I tell you, with what intensity you see me now, I promise, at least deeper intensity than that, I have seen Krishna there. He was there. Just small baby, as he was described in Bhagavata, with a small flute in the hand and putting his hand like this on the face, very innocently, with a peacock feather, all the uncleaned hair and very dirty mouth, all that food was there on the mouth and unwiped, and just that small little baby, he was there. The shock was from the very root center. Understand? The shock was from the very Muladhara chakra, from the root my being was shaken. It is, you can understand, even if I had the small doubt she is a saintly lady, I wouldn't have went and told her, you should come out of all this illusion and you should stop doing all this foolishness. You should be very healthy. I would have never told that. Such a simple, unassuming, no external expressions of any saint or a divine being in her. A simple lady, village lady, maybe 70 or 80. Just by touch, she can give initiation. Understand, this is initiation. This is not just, she was able to transmit that experience into my system. It is not that when she held her hand, I was convinced Krishna is there. No, I saw clearly he was there. The shaking or shock was so much, just fell at her feet. I can remember very clearly, after falling at the feet of the Kuppammal, my first inspiration and great teacher, after falling at her feet, with that same reverence and respect, second person whom I fell at the feet means only this lady. This lady only received my respect and reverence equivalent to the Kuppammal. I just fell at her feet and said, never ever call me as Baba. You are my Mata. Because as long as she was holding my hand, Krishna was there. I saw. The moment she took her hand out, it disappeared. I was again same old intellectual. It was a very deep, strong experience. The same respect which I had for my own teacher started having. After that, I never ever had doubt or disrespect about this Murti Puja or this worshipping the deity. Even if I go to somebody's house, I'll go to the puja room first and do the namaskar. Sometimes my own photo also will be there. Even then, I'll not bother. First thing I'll do, show the camphor and do namaskar. You do not know in whose house who is staying, in whose house who is residing. You do not know. Never take deities for granted. We take deities for granted because it is available for sale. Never ever take deities for granted. When I fell at her feet, she was not able to understand. She said, Baba, what are you doing? Actually, she stopped me and falling at her feet, and she was so respectful. Afterwards, I had a small little chat with her before leaving. She was so innocent, she was thinking, even if she is living with Krishna, then such a small person like her can have darshan of divine and living with Krishna. She was thinking that all sadhus would have had vision and darshan and they are living divine life. I said, that shows your innocence. I know how many people are meditating for years to have the glimpse of the Lord. And here is a lady, she is living with him from morning till night. I have seen. She will lock that small hut and go for that selling the milk. There is nothing inside the hut to steal. Even if some thief comes, they will drop something out of love and the compassion and drop something inside and go back. There is nothing except 2-3 bricks for head and 2-3 gunny bag for lying down. But she will lock that room carefully and go. And I'll ask her, why are you locking? No. If some dog comes and hurts Krishna, what to do? If Krishna, slowly if he goes out and he gets hurt in the road, what to do? Such a deep feeling connected. I can see in her eyes how she sees the Krishna, how she looks at the Krishna, how the very vision is so beautiful, so clean. I never miss a chance to tell this story. Unfortunately, I tried my best. I was never able to get her photograph. After enlightenment, after the organization was created, I personally, specially sent people, tried to trace. We were able to locate that place, but she passed away. She was no more, and we were never able to get her photograph. I wanted to get her photograph and put in all our temples as the ideal of Murti Puja. Person who lived with God through the deity worship. I wanted all our temples to have our photograph so that people will remember how an innocent village lady lived such a divine life of living with God. Anyhow, at least we can remember her and offer our respects.
Pratyaksha Pada Puja. Offer your gratitude to the lotus feet of Paramahamsa Nithyananda. Pratyaksha Pada Puja is a rare opportunity in a lifetime to express your surrender and gratitude directly at the feet of the Master, daily at 7 a.m. Indian Standard Time. You can register for e-Pada Puja online and you can receive individual darshan and blessings after the puja. You can send your blessings request at ntv.nityananda.org or call 91-97422-03311. Make the best use of this rare opportunity to be in the space of the living enlightened Master.
Anything great worth mentioning happens to you only when you open up. Opening up even to a small statue or an idol can make so much in you. Understand? To whom you open up is not a big thing. To whom you open up is not a real thing. Don't bother. To whom you open up. If you open up, even a statue can liberate you, give you enlightenment. The life of Ramakrishna, great enlightened master, he became enlightened just by opening himself to a Devi Murti, a statue of a Devi, goddess. It's just a statue. He opened himself. I should tell a beautiful incident in Ramakrishna's life, how the power of opening up makes that statue alive. Vedic tradition is always blamed by the so-called logic people that they are idol worshippers, they are worshipping idols. I tell you, no. Vedic tradition does not have idol worship. We don't worship idols, we worship through idols. Understand, there is a big difference between worshipping idol and worshipping through the idol. We don't stand in front of idol and ask, oh stone, give me boon. Oh metal, give me enlightenment. No. Oh Shiva, give me enlightenment. Oh Krishna, give me jnana. We worship through the idol. When you open up, when you really relate, you will realize the power of the idol which is in front of you. Anything can act as a medium to the existence, to the universe. What happens inside you when the master touches it? The same thing will happen when you touch the energized deity. That is the power of energized deities. Once the life is added to them, they become independent intelligence. They do the same work of master's body. Whatever is said and done, if you have seen that hall, before putting the Garbha on the deities and after putting the Garbha on deities, you will understand the difference, the energy difference. When a master touches you, or when you enter into an energy field, intense energy fields like a Tirumala or the Arunachaleshwara temple or Madurai Devi temple, or there are so many other temples, intense energy fields, Vishwanatha and Badrinath, Kedar, this kind of a strong energy fields, if you enter there also you will have the shock. You will see the lightning starts happening inside the system. Whether you are touched by the master or you are touching the master's body or you touch an energized idol, the idol or deity installed by an enlightened being, or you enter into a strong energy field. This experience, what Shiva says, can be experienced. Suddenly you will see the lightning happening in your spine. Whenever that happens, close your eyes and rest with it. If it happens in a temple, stop doing all other rituals. Just sit. Go to a corner, just sit and digest that. Let it happen. Be aware. Be sensitive to it. Allow that to work. Cooperate with it. You will see. You will receive 1,000 times more than what you will receive by prayer. Prayer is like you are trying to connect. This experience is like he is trying to connect. Whenever he calls you, it goes to voicemail. And whenever you call, you blame he is not picking up. He is not picking up, true, but when he calls you back, it again goes to voicemail. That is why never the dialogue happens. Understand? This experience is like he calling you. Allow. Don't be engaged. Don't be engaged in something else. Just go to one corner, sit with closed eyes, forget about the pandas, priests, pujaris, worship, these, that. Whatever is going on, sit in one corner, internalize. Which chakra you had that shock or lightning? Just, or if you had the whole, all over the body, then internalize, sit with it. Let you encourage, cooperate with it. Let that penetrate you deeper and deeper. You will see the process which is supposed to happen will start happening. Dear Swamiji, lot of people you have talked to us about, they had a strong background on worshipping through the idol. For instance, the farmers of Indian villages, these blessed villages have family god, which seems to be a family tradition. Do we need some training or some background information to learn how to do worshipping through the idols properly? Understand, I don't think you need an information or ideas about idol worship. I feel we need respect for everything exists. This civilization is built on strength. Constantly you are taught the idea that you have to be self-centered, respect only you. But the civilizations which lived with nature, which existed for thousands of years, they all continuously respect whatever exists. To have the connection, to feel connected to the idol worship, to feel connected to the deity worship, you need to have respect for whatever exists. Means you need to live in the heart. You need to live in the space of compassion. You cannot be constantly living in the space of head. Everything exists is living energy. Only different degree of life. Even Himalayas are growing. Even hills are living energy. Understand? Different frequency of life, but whatever exists is life, is energy. When you start respecting, when you start living with that respect, whatever exists is energy, suddenly you will see the whole nature reciprocates. The whole nature lives with you. In India, the tradition of wandering, so many people will walk by foot length and breadth of country, visiting all the temples and pilgrim centers. I used to wonder how they are able to do, especially going through the forest and all that. I saw after a few weeks or months, they feel connected to the nature. So nature completely cooperates with them. Whether it is rain or shining or Whatever, animals or tree, everything takes care of them. Even though logically it is difficult to understand, once you start living with little respect, you will see so many ways nature respects you. Nature reciprocates that love. To do the idol worship, I don't think you need some information or knowledge. You need this feeling connection, respect for whatever exists. If you close your eyes and meditate with yourself, it is meditation. If you do that same thing with open eyes, with a deity, it is a worship. In both, process is same. It is like offering different varieties of meditations, different varieties of experiences, different intensities. That's all. Whatever is said and done, you are in the physical plane. The things related to physical plane will have a direct impression over your system, direct influence over your system. So, for a beginners or for the normal person who wants to experience the truth, the worshipping through the idol just does amazing transformation.
This person is asking, can a person enlighten only with idol worship? Oh, just with idol worship. I can say, you can become enlightened just with idol worship, but you must be able to develop that depth just through the idol, which usually does not happen. After a certain level, when the depth has become very deep, automatically the person moves to the higher levels or the deeper levels. So, if you are really kind of a person to the depth of Ramakrishna, then of course Ramakrishna did not have anything else except that Kali idol. And finally Kali herself guided him to have the initiation from Totaburi. That's a very funny incident. Totaburi comes, he's a great enlightened master, Avaduta, Paramahamsa, no cloth, complete naked sannyasi, who lives with the nature. He comes to Dakshineswar and sees Ramakrishna and says, I feel you are an intense seeker. I want to initiate you. Ramakrishna says, wait for a moment, I'll go and ask my mother and come back. Totaburi thought maybe he is staying with his mother and he wants his mother's permission before the initiation. Ramakrishna runs to Devi temple and asks Devi, stands in front of the Kali Murti for 2 minutes and comes back and says, yes, my mother told, you have come here just to initiate me. Totaburi was shocked. He said, what are you saying? You said you will talk to your mother and come back, but I saw you went to temple and stood in front of Devi Murti and came back. This guy said, yes, she's my mother. I asked her just now and she told me you can initiate me. Totaburi was shocked. And during the initiation, Totaburi said that bring your mind to the ultimate consciousness with no form. Centralize your mind on the formless consciousness. He gave some technique, actually initiated him into a very powerful sannyas technique, the sannyas initiation. But Ramakrishna says, no, I am not able to bring myself to that emptiness because the moment I close my eyes, the Kali is there in front of me. Then Totaburi says, then go and talk to your mother again. And the very interesting thing, he goes to mother and asks Kali, what is this? He is telling me to bring my inner space to the silence and to the pure consciousness which is beyond form. But whenever I close my eyes, I see only you. Then Kali says, go and follow his advice. That is the right thing you have to do. That is the right thing you have to do. And the story says, she gives her own sword, the sword which is she always carries, and says, cut my form, kill me. Understand, if you have that depth with an idol, then you don't need anything. Usually, when you have that depth with the idol, she herself will guide and take care that you become enlightened. That story says, she herself guided him, gave the sword to cut him, cut her herself, and Ramakrishna, when he again brought himself back to the pure consciousness beyond form, he saw the form of the Kali and used that sword mentally and cut the form. And the story says he became enlightened. Understand? If you have that depth, then naturally the deity herself, the Devi herself will guide to you to the higher levels.
Nitya Kriya, restoring Hatha Yoga to the world. A series of healing yogic processes revealed by Paramahamsa Nithyananda to care and cure for diseases and disorders. Practice Nitya Kriya and awaken your Kundalini energy. To find out more, visit www.nityananda.org/nitya-kriyas.
During my wandering, I was resting in the noon time under a tree, putting my head on a small stone, which had turmeric, all that little puja was done on that, but I did not expect it is worshipped by somebody as God. I put my head on this stone, I should not say stone, deity for somebody. Once it is deity for somebody, it should be deity for everybody. But foolish, unfortunate civilizations do the other way. Once if somebody is accused for somebody, he is accused for the whole world. That should not be the case. If he is deity for somebody, deity for everybody. And if he is accused for somebody, he is accused only for that person. And we do completely opposite. So, I put my head by mistake, without knowing, the deity on deity. Usually when there is a turmeric powder smeared, snakes will not come there. That is why in the snake holes, before worshipping they will put the turmeric powder. Snakes won't come. So I thought maybe that is the area where the snakes are too much, so somebody, before resting, they have put turmeric powder, they rested. So I put my head, maybe in 1 hour, some villager from 2-3 kilometers apart, away, he was running towards me, shouting. When he came near me, he just said, "Because you are a sadhu, I am leaving you. Otherwise I would have broken your head. How dare you put your head on my Shiva?" So he had a telepathy connection with the deity. He was sleeping in the house. Noon usually villages rest. So this guy was sleeping in his house and he ran and came. And he said, "I saw in my dream somebody is disrespecting my deity, my Shiva. So anyhow, you are a sadhu, I am leaving you. Don't do this anymore." I really felt bad that I abused somebody's deity. So I apologized to him, but I was so happy that somebody could have a telepathy connection just with a stone. When you worship as a deity, he is so strong with his feeling connection, he was able to just connect with the deity, just with the trust. So I apologized, then I moved. There was a small temple in that village, I stayed in that village, in the temple. And I was talking about this incident to few people. some foreigner came to that village like as a tourist. His guide, who can speak little English and little Hindi, English or Hindi, that guy was taking around that foreigner and he wanted to show that foreigner some Indian sadhu. So he brought that foreigner to me and he was telling him about Indian sadhus, few things. Then I also tried. Those days I can't speak fluent English. I can manage, but not fluently. Neither Hindi nor English, but somehow I manage my wandering. But broken Hindi words are enough. For sadhu, you don't need to speak much. Now in North India, they will give you food and they will take care of you, and great people. It's a very beautiful civilization. In the north, so much of respect and love for the sadhus and for the tradition. So I was explaining that like this happened. I put my head on the deity and that guy came running. He had a telepathy experience with the deity, that he felt like he should protect it, that somebody is abusing it. Then he came running. I apologized. I told the whole story. This foreigner was really, he got the curiosity. Wow. He wants to meet that villager. So anyhow, this local guide said, I'll get that villager, don't worry, because I described how that villager looks. Then this guide took that westerner to that villager. I also wanted to see the fun. I went there. I also went. And during the conversation, that westerner, he asked that villager what happened and all that, and that villager described, like this, I had a vision that my Shiva is being abused by somebody. I ran and I saw this sadhu was putting his head on that Shiva and I drove him out. He described all the story, and then that foreigner asked, that westerner asked, how did you feel this? How can this happen? He said, no, I feel it is Shiva for me, and so through this deity, Shiva responds to me. That foreigner, I don't know whether he wants to test that villager or really he offered. He said, if I give money, will you give this? I'll give you $5,000. Means now 2.5 lakh. I don't know at that time what value. At least few lakh. Few lakh is not a small money. The villager, maybe his whole property will be only that much worthy. Whatever property he has, his house or little land, whatever he has, the whole thing will be only that $5,000 worth. And I thought really that villager is going to jump on that foreigner and finish him off. Shout at him or abuse him or drive him out, saying, how dare you bargain, give money, fix a price for my God, for my Shiva. I thought there is going to be big ruckus, chaos, big scene. I was just keeping quiet. I was really surprised. That villager very simply said, please take it. He gave it away. He said, please take it. Give the money and take the deity. And that westerner really wanted to carry that as a souvenir. So he gave the money and took it. I think he gave in Indian rupee and took it. That guide, he also made little commission in the fixing the bargain. Everything was done. I was really shocked. Then after that westerner went away, I caught hold of the guide and caught that farmer, that villager, and asked, how dare you sell your God? He was very cool. And I tell you honestly, he had a telepathy experience with the deity. It was not lie, it's a truth.
He was very cool. And he told me very cool way, Swamiji, I did not sell my God. I just sold a stone which I thought as worshipped as God. I'll put another stone. And not only that, with this money, I'll build a temple for that stone. See? And he was very clear, I'll put another stone and do prana pratishtha. And that will become God. Now I did two things. One, satisfied a Westerner and inspiring him in the tradition. You see, he will carry this. It will be a God for him. So in a way, I am responsible for spreading Vedic tradition to one person. True. See, he said, naturally he is going to carry it and worship. And I know the science of doing prana pratishtha. I will put another on stone and worship it as a god, and this new stone is going to do the same work for me which the old stone was doing. So I have the ability to do prana pratishtha. I was really shocked, understand? See, especially when you have some extraordinary experience with a stone, it is not an easy joke to retain the clarity. I put energy into it. Even though it speaks to me, it is my own trust. It is my ability to do prana pratishtha. This is what I call, even if you have the Daiva Bhakti, you should ultimately know the truth. It is Atma Bhakti. Your own Atman, you are seeing it as God outside. So the Deva Bhakti should lead you to the depth of Atma Bhakti. I was shocked, a villager can have so much of clarity. And that guy really did not spend that money on himself. And he put another one small deity as Shiva and built a small temple. Not big, but small temple he built with that money. Still the temple is there. The idol should be used as a representation of the God. Then after some time, the very idol itself will radiate the divinity. You will feel the very deity is God. There is no God represented by that idol. The idol itself will become God. That is the ripe devotion, intense devotion. This is the basic sutra. Naturally, your way of worship, everything will change as you evolve. In the initial level, it will be very decent, formal worship, because you think that this idol represents God. And slowly you will see, it becomes very intimate, not formal, very intimate. And that's what Ramakrishna says, puja should ripe into seva. In normal puja, first, once you cook, the fresh food will be put in front of the deity, in front of the God, and you will offer it to the God through the idol and eat. Once it ripes and really becomes intimate, when Ramakrishna used to do puja, he will first taste it and see whether it is nice or not, is it good food or not, hot or not. Then he will put it in front of the God. Means the relationship has become matured and the intimacy has grown. The devotion, the connection has happened. So if you evolve in your devotion, the connection also, the way in which you do worship, that also will evolve. For example, if you see in our temple, after 10 o'clock, all the deities will be put to bed. You will see small deities will be there in front of each God. In front of Vishnu, there will be small Vishnu. In front of Shiva, there will be small Shiva Meru, representing Shiva energy. They will all be put to bed. You may ask how God can sleep. If he sleeps, what will happen to us? He is Kutagesha, means was conquered sleep. No sleep for him. How can God be put to sleep? If logically, if you see, we will end up in this question and confusion. That devotion, that relationship is not logically analyzing, feeling, thinking that idol represents God and all. The intimacy has grown. So it is no more puja, it is seva. The Advaita will not be useful anymore. A deep relationship, personal connection will start happening. That is a deeper level experience. So, I can't say something is lower and something is higher. Puja is also beautiful as long as it is useful. Seva is wonderful when that is the way your heart feels connected. It's like a different steps. Different steps. For a logical mind, seva will not be able to, they will not be able to feel connected to seva. Once one great enlightened lady, her name is Avvaya, she lived in Tamil Nadu. Once she was sitting and stretching her leg towards the deity in the temple, towards Shiva in the temple. The priest came and asked her, told her, move your legs, you are turning towards Shiva, just turn it other side. She is a very old lady, enlightened lady. She said, I am too tired, why don't you yourself put my leg where the God is not there? And the story says, this priest with all the anger, he just pushed her leg with a stick towards the other direction, and the Shivalinga turned towards that direction. And he pushed the leg the other direction. Again, Shivalinga turned towards that direction. See, because she was in that consciousness. All you need is authenticity with your heart, that's all. The story which I was telling, I took a brick and put it on my head, under my head, and farmer running, he came running. That is also truth. And this story, again the Avaya story, the priest moving the leg, her leg, and Shivalinga turning towards that direction. This is also true. Both are true because we were completely authentically connected with our emotion. It was clear. At this bhava, at this attitude, that was the truth. At this attitude, the Avaya was in a complete realization. She was completely connected, filled with Advaitic Anubhuti. Advaita Anubhuti, we call it as constantly radiating the experience of the ultimate. There is a beautiful, still the temple is there. It's called Uttama Solapuram near Salem. There is a Shiva temple. You will see every direction God will be there. Because he turned for the sake of Avaya every direction, you will see every direction the deity will be put, the Shivalinga will be there. Anyhow, so she was in that state authentically. So naturally, the deity responded to that state. So all you need to do is, in which state you are now, be authentic in that. If you are feeling now, worshipping, doing a formal puja, do that. If you are really feeling so intimately connected, then have a deity in the home and do whatever you feel like. There is no rule for you. There is no bhava for you. You are beyond visualization or rules or regulation. It's like a living with the divine. It's like seva.
Sacred Art Store. Nithyananda's Sacred Art Store. A storehouse of spiritual products from Vedic culture. Find all your needs for yogic body, Vedic mind and N living. A one-stop shop for spiritual products and gifts. www.sacredartsstore.com or email us sales@ngalleria.com.
When you deeply feel connected to a master, when you deeply feel connected to a deity, to a god, to a statue, what happens in you, how it leads you towards enlightenment, is beautifully described in this sutra. Understand? People ask me, Swamiji, if I have fallen in love with a girl or a man, can this technique help me? It will. Because whenever you are in love with somebody, the other person will look like a god. He will be God for you. Understand? I always tell people People come and ask me, Swamiji, I feel you are God. I tell them, this mood or experience will be there as long as you feel connected or you are in love. As long as you are feeling connected or you are in love. When you are in love with somebody, not only with me, with a master, with anybody, when you are in love, the other person will appear like a God. He will be fulfillment of your being. God means what? Your fulfillment. Your fulfillment is what we call God. What you feel as your fulfillment is your God, Ishta Devata. That is your chosen ideal. When you are in love with the master, he appears as God. He will be God. I always tell people, when you are in love with me, not only I will appear as God, you will see all miracles which God will do will be happening through me. But when that love or feeling connected goes away, when you don't have that, you will not see any miracle through me. Even if you see, you will take it for granted. It is feeling deeply connected or love that gives you the experience, glimpse of God through other, and it just gives you inside you. It's a big science. First, you fall in love with that object or a person. One difficulty is, if you fall in love with that object or a person, first you need to concentrate, feel him and leave everything else. Then feel his absence also. When you want to feel his absence, he may not agree or cooperate. With a master, he will agree and cooperate to feel his absence, and he will put the whole energy and whole devotion on yourself. He will not bind you. That is the greatness of master. That is the greatness of falling in love with the master. See, when you fall in love with an ordinary object or an ordinary person, also this technique can help you. But one thing, when you want to move away from his presence, he will feel dissatisfied. He will not encourage it. He wants you to be, by now, he will be dependent on you. A person who acts as an object for you to fall in love and waits till everything else disappears from you and diverts the same attention and energy towards you and gracefully moves away, lets you experience his absence, is master. He is master. Master is a person who will not be dependent on you, but who will help you to be dependent on him. When time comes, he will simply liberate you and put your whole energy on you and say goodbye and tell you to experience the ultimate. With an ordinary person, that step will be a little difficult. The third step, first step, falling in love, feeling the person, there won't be a problem. Second step, forgetting all other objects except that person or the object, that also won't be a problem. But the third step, feeling his absence also and diverting the whole concentrated energy on yourself. Dhyayato layaha means merging into meditation itself without an object for meditation. At that spot, an ordinary person will not be able to let go. He will create a comfort zone between you and him and encourage you to be in that same comfort zone. Will not allow you to go beyond him. That is where the problem will start. Of course, when that problem comes, let us face that. Just because that problem may come, it is not that we should not start our steps at all. When it comes, let us find the solution. Let us start the work. let us start the great work of working towards the enlightenment. 3 steps. Feel an object before you, not just seeing, feeling. Means completely lost. Feel the absence of all other objects and persons but this one. Exclude everything else. Just be completely lost with that one person or with that one object. Let there not be anything else. Exclude. 3rd step, when you really feel that there is no object, suddenly after some time, you feel, oh God, I was sitting here with Swamiji for 3 hours. And suddenly after the lecture you wake up, not from sleep. You think, oh God, there are so many people around me. Or suddenly you see, when did you come and sit? You ask the next person. And you ask the person, when did you come and sit? I did not even notice. If that happens, means you excluded. You achieved the state of excluding everything else. Then you need to go to the 3rd step. Means now unclutch from Master also. Feel his presence, his absence also. Then leaving aside the object feeling and the absence feeling, realize. Object feeling means the presence. Absence feeling means absence. Leaving aside both, realize. Let you realize, let you disappear just in yourself. See, in Ramakrishna's case, he was so connected to the Kali Murti, he felt that Murti was alive. Just now, few months ago, I went and saw that Murti. When I saw that, it was such a overflowing, such a fulfilled feeling. Just a 3 feet stone can give enlightenment. See the amazing thing. It's not more than 3 feet Murti, just 3 feet Murti. Black stone. It can give enlightenment. He was so strongly connected. First the feeling of the object happened. Then the exclusion, means leaving all other objects, that also happened. He used to sit in front of that Murti for hours. If he starts doing Aarti, people will start moving away because he won't end. If some people start speaking, you don't know when they will end. If he starts doing Aarti, you don't know when he will end. People will start going away. 2nd step also happened. The 3rd step happened when he became enlightened. 3rd step means feeling the absence, means leaving even that form happened to him. Only then he became enlightened. Understand? Feel an object, even ordinary relationship, falling in love can raise you to enlightenment. With this one technique, feel that object or the person intensely, exclude everything else. Feel the absence of all other objects, only that object or that person's presence, then move away even from that person or the object. Feel the presence, feel the absence. Suddenly you will see you are centered on you, on your deeper self, on your consciousness, on your very being.
Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bangalore 562109. Contact 09742203311. www.nithyananda.org. www.youtube.com/lifeblissfoundation.
Welcome to Inner Awakening, the most powerful personal transformation retreat you could ever experience. In just 21 days, thousands are already experiencing the shortest route to constantly high energy levels, visible anti-aging, healing of chronic diseases, fulfilling relationships, and higher states of consciousness. What is the secret behind this transformation?
Kundalini means the inner potential energy. Once it is awakened, opens the different doors for the conscious experience in you. I can say which is a master key for all extraordinary spiritual experiences.
This extraordinary program is conducted personally by Paramahamsa Nithyananda in the vibrant atmosphere of Nithyananda Dhyanapitham Ashram. Open yourself to the benefits of Nitya Yoga and practical meditation. Experience physical and mental healing. Discover simple ways to handle life with success. Above all, enjoy individual darshan and blessings from Paramahamsa Nithyananda every day. Take 21 days for yourself and carry home the transformation of a lifetime.